Some episodes of this Let's Play take longer to make than others. This is one of those episodes. Welcome to my endless ocean of redstone, as far as the eye can see. Oh, snappers. All right, everybody, here we go. This is the episode I have been both very excited for, but also very terrified of, because today we got an insane amount of grinding work to do. We're going to be building that storage room we planned out last episode. In our end, it's going to be a massive storage room. Definitely the most expensive project I've ever attempted in this game. Maybe not in building time, but definitely in cost. I have been gathering materials here for hours, trying to get this thing together, trying to fill up our shopping list of stuff we need. Yeah, so it's kind of hard to put into words just how much of an effort and an investment this project actually is, but trust me, it's huge, okay? I can't really show you everything involved, but I tried to put together a montage here just to give you a feel for like what the actual prep process is for getting the materials ready for this. Like, there's the gathering of the materials, and then there's like hours of crafting on top of that. And that's just to get ready, like, between last episode and this one, just to get the materials ready for this project. And today we're going to take these materials and actually start building the redstone for the project. The intricate design, you know, it's going to take a lot of careful placement of blocks and that. It's going to be very grindy. Again, kind of hard to show it all. But I just want to not pull the, oh, I did some mining off camera meme with you guys. I want you to kind of feel somewhat involved in the actual process here. Yeah, so last episode we went over the concept for the storage room. We designed it and also tested out the individual components a little bit. This episode is all about doing the redstone for it. A future episode we're going to dedicate to adding additional systems to this thing to make it nicer. And we also, in a future episode, want to try to make it look nice, but that's going to have to wait probably. Because I don't want it to just be a warehouse that looks ugly, you know, because we're going to be spending a lot of time in this thing. It should look nice in the future. So there's a lot to go through here. Probably today the first thing we should try to figure out is how is this going to work in the end? Like, where is it going to go in the end? I think we're going to make it so it's out of range of the dragon, so there's no chance it could ever get destroyed. We also got to make sure it's not in range of the obsidian pillars that spawn in. Make sure those can't destroy it. And we'll probably look into adding some kind of ender porter system for it. So as soon as we enter the end, it teleports us right into the storage room. And then there'll probably be another button there to ender port us to the end portal to leave the end. And don't worry, a lot of this will make a lot more sense once we actually start building it. So let's take it one step at a time here. But last episode, we got this list together of all the stuff I figured we'd need just for the basic version of the storage room. And I think we got it all now. So we got some of this last episode, most of this episode, though. All the glass, the cyan, there's a lot of boxes. Yes, those are dispensers. I crafted all of those, and it was very painful. We got our frog lights, pistons, repeaters, droppers, redstone torches, power rails, 3 things of hoppers, comparators, observers. Oh my goodness. The chests, all the wood in the chests, note blocks, composters, barrels. I don't have enough inventory space. Whoa. Okay. And my ender chest is full. Man, I can't carry it all. This is definitely not where you want to die in the game when you got all this stuff on you. I would be very upset if I fell in the void. Where should we stash this stuff? Let's make a little heap over here, maybe. Just until we get something better. So I got a theory in this game that I can only place like 50,000 blocks in a day. Like if I'm really trying. And then my risk kind of gives out. And looking at this, it might take a few days. Oh no, okay, this is a little bit off topic here, but I just went to use our Wither Rose farm because we were in the end here, and yeah, I updated to 1.20.2, and it looks like our iron golems have gone on strike. They refuse to work now. With the changes with the attack range of mobs, looks like this got broken. Let's go over the plan for where this endless storage room is going to be built. So my initial thought was, oh, we could build it on the main island, right? Well, if you ever spawn in the dragon and you got a storage room on the island here, that dragon's not going to care. It's going to destroy anything you build. So if we bulldoze these obsidian columns, same kind of problem. If we ever spawn in the dragon, do a dragon fight, they're going to respawn the pillars and destroy anything we put under there. Plus, we'll have to remove like thousands and thousands of endstone in the way down there. That's also not a great option. We could put it up in the sky, like really high. Y250 or 300 would probably be fine. Now, the main problem I can foresee with building some kind of sky fortress here is what if we want to connect anything else in our end up to our storage room? Like we got, you know, these portals on the side here. I might come up with an idea in the future that I want to do something with. I don't know. And then also, like if we want to hook it up to our ender borders, then we got to run a cable all the way down from our sky fortress to the end island here. And then the dragon's just going to destroy the cable we run, right? So after putting in a bit of thought here, I think our best option is actually just to build it off on the side. I'm thinking down over here. We'll put it down like at the void level and expand out this way to the infinite space kind of thing. We do have this stuff up above that's kind of in the way, but if we build down low enough, it's probably not an issue. And yeah, we're only like 100 blocks away from the portal in the center of our island. So I'm thinking when we enter the end, we'll have an ender porter that triggers and takes us down to our storage room down there instantly. And then we'll have another ender porter, I think closest to us here on this side, that will take us to the portal in the center of the island. That way it's only like 110 blocks or so away from the portal. We won't have to worry about chunks being unloaded. And then we'll build our storage room expanding out this way, and we'll have space if we need to add future items that come out in the game. We won't have to worry about running it towards the island or anything like that. But yeah, I think we want to set up a player detector now underneath our obsidian platform here. So we're going to do a skulk sensor, waterlogged, and then a shrieker, waterlogged. You got to combine them together, so the shrieker is only going to detect player movement, but in order to activate the shrieker, we need this sensor to relay our movement to it, if that makes sense. And then we use an observer to detect when the shrieker actually triggers. Probably add a little bit more wool around this as well, just to help soundproof it. And then we send this to a block down here. We're friends, right? I accidentally looked at him and he felt self-conscious, and it's a whole thing here. Okay. So we're going to need a signal strength, or a repeater of 2 here, so that it'll actually be able to trigger a redstone torch. And then this redstone torch is going to go to some instant wire. And we'll start our instant wire over here. Yeah, I think that should work. We actually don't have to go as far down as I thought we would need to. But yeah, we'll use the piston to retract a big slime column. So the trick here is to try to get these pistons instantly retracting together. I think if we put a power rail on top of that, we'll do the trick. So it'll update when the redstone block retracts, and then it'll tell the next piston in the chain to retract at the same time. I just set up a temporary ender porter in the end. We're going to try this out, see if it works, and I'm curious, like, is it going to work right when we go in the end, or do we have to move first for it to teleport us? Let's see here. We go through. Okay, nothing happened, so we probably have to move. There we go. Okay, yeah, you got to move in order to generate some sound. Or you have the option, if you don't want to trigger it, just sneak out of the obsidian area there, and you'll be fine, right? So yeah, it took us downstairs here to this area now. So I'm putting down a bunch of mushroom blocks as like a base layer. If you've ever worked in the end, it's very nerve-wracking working over void. You're constantly dropping stuff in the void, and it's really annoying. So what I want to do here is have like a sandwich almost, like a bottom layer right at Y0, and then like 9 blocks up, 10 blocks up here, we have another layer. And this crawl space is going to be open for our redstone. If we need to run anything in the floor of the storage room, this is what we're going to use. And then we're going to build our actual storage room on top here, starting at this level. Yep, so we got quite a bit of ground we need to lay down here, and we're going to be using the brown mushroom blocks to do that, because just in general, I find these blocks very easy to collect in this game. You just need a little bit of bone meal to grow the brown mushrooms, and we got that big brown mushroom farm set up. Makes it easy to get these. We also get the mushroom stems as we do it, which is a bit of a rarer block. It's nice to build up a stockpile of those as well. If we ever need to bulldoze these, I don't need a haste beacon to do it. It's just like an instant mine block, you know, it's kind of cool. I also really like the texture of these. Like, it's a very gentle, easy on the eyes texture. It's got just enough roughness to it that it doesn't look super plain, but yeah, I think it's great. I also really like using moss blocks for this kind of purpose as well. You get those real easy. They look nice, but they're a little bit more chaotic with the texture, and we don't really have a big moss farm set up in our single-player world here yet. That's on the to-do list for the future. So this is what we're going with. Okay, everybody. Well, there we go. That's our floor plan all figured out. So it's about 140, 150 blocks wide from that end to that end over there. And we're looking at about 70, 80 blocks tall, I believe. So from that end to that end. And as more items come out, if we need to expand the storage room, it's going to expand off that way. But the width will always be the same, basically. And, yeah. You know, you plan out these things in your head, and they're just numbers. But then when you actually start building it and you see, and you time, like, how long it takes to run from one end to another, and you start realizing that I have to fill this all up with redstone, it starts to sink in just how big of a project this actually is. Yeah, we got a lot to go here. I accidentally placed one of my shulker boxes full of mushrooms in the floor here. So let's see if we can get this back without losing it. Nope. Oh, nope. Oh, it's not worth it. All right, everybody. So let me take you on a little journey now. We'll go through a little walkthrough of our vision for this storage room. How's it going to work? What's it going to look like? So imagine we enter the end and we just get teleported right over here. Right over here is going to be the entrance to our storage room, which is going to have all the extra features we can't fit into the main area over there. So it'll have stuff like our shulker unloading system. We just throw in shulker boxes, they get unloaded into the storage area. We'll have like our ender porters here. You know, probably an area for non-stackable items. So across this line is going to be the main hall area. And this is where we're going to be spending a lot of our time in the storage room as well, because this is where all the shulker loading systems are going to be at the ends of these tunnels. Imagine this is a tunnel right here. And at the end here, there's going to be a big row of shulker boxes all the way down on both sides, where we stick in our shulker box for a refill and we get a new one instantly. It'll all be automatically refilled. And can you just see it right now, guys? Imagine this main hall. It's going to be beautifully decorated. Absolutely. That's not going to take forever, like 100 episodes to get done. No, it'll be done, guys. Trust me, one day it'll look amazing, right? And then this is like the main branch to this main hall, and then you got all the tunnels on the side. So this is where the actual storage units are going to be all the way down here. So each of these will handle 27 items, like the full amount of a shulker box, right? 27 items, and since we're using a 2-wide design for our storage system, that means these are 54 blocks long, each of these tunnels. So that's why it stretches out so far here. And then the minecart's going to pick up the goods and deliver them at the end over at the main hall there. So these tunnels, we won't really go down very often. They're just there in case we need to manually drop off goods or manually pick up goods. We'll still have that option, but most of it will be automatically done in the main area here, is what I'm hoping for. Okay, let's get building. So yeah, I gotta extend these. We're gonna use soul soil for the tunnels, and then we'll put slabs on top so that we can travel quickly. All right, everybody, this is future Etho right now, editing Etho, and I was putting together the montage for this episode of me building that storage room, and it ended up being very, very long because it's a big project. So I wasn't sure how to make it entertaining. I just ended up rambling about the new auto crafter coming out, so we'll see if that works. Yeah, so personally, I am very excited about auto crafting coming to Minecraft. I think it's going to have a pretty big impact on the way we play this game, mostly for the better as well. There's going to be a couple negatives, I think, associated with it, though. Like, the less connection you have with the items, the less they mean to you. They just start becoming numbers instead of, like, stories, I guess. Like, you don't have that story of, oh, I was out collecting sugarcane, I got jumped by 2 creepers. It's more like, oh, I AFK'd overnight and now I have all the items I want from this farm or whatever, right? So that's the downside of automation. But overall, like, if we were to ever remove hoppers in the game, I think most of us would agree that would be a negative. And that's another case of how automation entered the game and overall I think was beneficial to the game. Yeah, so let's talk about the benefits of the crafter. So obviously Redstoners, they love getting new gizmos to experiment with and play around with in this game, and the crafter definitely scratches that itch. I think when it comes to like farm building, a lot of farms you'll add crafters in somewhere as like an extra piece of the puzzle. And that's good because it adds more variety in the ways you can build things. There's a lot of different approaches to how you what you might want to autocraft and that kind of thing, what farms you might want to combine together to autocraft stuff. That variety is very good because it's not like, oh, this is the one farm and this is the one way to do it and everybody does it this way and then the game gets stale. It's like the more variety, the more unique approaches to things, the more interesting Minecraft becomes. There's also like the grand puzzle of, oh, how do I make a generalized storage room that automatically crafts whatever I want on demand as we start to run low on things. Like, that's a very challenging thing to solve with a lot of different ways of doing it, and I think that'll be fun to see people tackle. I think one of the bigger impacts of the crafter that's not so obvious is I think it'll get a lot more of like the non-Redstoners involved in Redstone. It'll encourage them to look into that world a little bit more. In Minecraft, there's like different end games, right? You got your redstone, your building, your PvP, these different end games that have a lot of depth to them, but only if you're actually involved in exploring them. And the more you get into the different ones, the more variety you have in your gameplay, the more enjoyable it is, and the longer you'll want to play Minecraft. So that's why I think it's good if more people get into Redstone. And the reason I say more people get into Redstone is because, like, you take an item like the comparator, for example, that comes out in the game, a non-Redstoner sees that, and they ask themselves, okay, what can I do with this? How does this benefit me? It doesn't. It only helps them if they learn all the other Redstone components and how they all work together, and it's just too much, right? They just brush it off, they shy away from Redstone. It's like, okay, I'm just not a Redstoner, right? This doesn't help me. Now, Crafter, on the other hand, it's very easy to understand what it does. It gives a direct benefit, and it helps to solve a problem we're all kind of facing in this game of inventory management. It's another step into improving things where you can actually save time if you set up these different auto crafting systems. I'm hoping it's not like the item filter where it's just like one solution solves all the problems. I'm hoping different recipes will need different configurations of hoppers and timings so that people actually need to explore and understand how it works. Yeah, I think one of the bigger problems facing like the way Redstone is perceived in the Minecraft community is a lot of times you'll take someone that like really enjoys building, for example. They'll want to get a block for one of their builds, so they'll want to make a farm to get that block. So then what do? They look at YouTube for a tutorial. They'll follow the block by block tutorial on how to build that farm. They get the block, and at the end of that process, they conclude, well, you know, I didn't really enjoy that. You know, I wanted the block, I got the block, I'm happy, but Redstone's not really my thing. Now, I asked those people, how much would you enjoy building if you were following a block-by-block tutorial on how to make a house, right? And the answer is they wouldn't, because it's not their idea. They're not exploring or learning or seeing their own work have some kind of result they were trying to achieve. That's why I'm hoping the crafter will encourage people to actually learn how to redstone and set up their own systems in their own way with that basic understanding, and then they'll see the accomplishment and take pride in what they do, right? And then Redstone will be more fun for them, and they might be encouraged to even learn more things then. All right, let's try this again. So I've used this Ender Porter a few times now, and I think it does actually trigger right when you go in the end. You don't have to move. Yeah, look at that. But yeah, check it out, everybody. We got the main grind done here for this project. This actually ended up spanning over a month. I started this around the time of the Minecraft Live event, and I've just kind of been working on it an hour or two every day up until now. So it did take a very long time to build. I would guess at least 3 full days of building total. But because I've been doing like Decked Out on Hermitcraft, and then we got Secret Life, and then there's the Vault Hunters, and I started a new CTM map with Paws and Beef. There's a lot of very time-sensitive things going on. I decided to put this in the background while I did those other things, just to make sure I didn't fall behind on my schedule. And eventually, today, we actually got this done. Oh, and it's glorious. Look at it. Okay, so we got a lot to do with this still, but let's talk about the Auto Crafter for a second again. So I had to sort of think, like, do I need to adjust anything with this to make it work with that? And I don't think we need to. I think maybe the one thing we'll do is, let's see, where's our redstone kit? So the items end up, when this is all done, are going to be in this hopper down below here. Like, this is the bottom of the chain where the items end up, and then the minecart runs underneath and picks stuff up. What we can do, we might end up moving this floor up a block or two, and then we can just grab the signal from the hopper through here, right? So that hopper will get read out here, and then we can send it downward, and then we'll use that to detect if we're running low on something, and then we can trigger some kind of auto-crafting system. Yeah, so auto-crafting has the potential to get quite complicated, especially if you're doing it in a generalized manner that, you know, it works when future items come out in the game as well. But I think I came up with a pretty good idea for our storage room that we're going to try out, unless you guys have better ideas. I don't know. I haven't played with the crafter yet either, so I'm not entirely sure how it works. But the idea I've got here is we're going to use this comparator thing to detect when we're running low on any of the items we want to auto-craft. So let's say it's pistons, for example. We'll send the signal down below when we need more pistons to be crafted, and that will tell a hopper minecart to take off and run by a crafting seeder, basically. Something like this where when you run the minecart next to the hoppers, it'll put one of each of the items inside. This is empty. You run it down. It's one of each of the items in the order we want to deliver them to the auto crafter. Because every recipe in this game is 9 items or less, that means we would need 2 hopper minecarts to do this to get enough items. And that also frees a 10th slot available, which we'll use for a ticketing system, which is an idea I got from Railcraft a long time ago. I figured out how to do it in vanilla a long time ago, but I never actually really used it for anything. But it might be for deciding which auto-crafting queue to send the items to, like, because they'll have different configurations for different recipes. I think we'll do something like that. But anyways, we run the hopper minecart underneath all the hoppers in our storage room under these things here, and it'll find the items it needs using the filter. And then we send the hopper minecart back over the recipe seeder so that it never runs out of items. And then we deliver it to the auto crafters. Well, anyways, everybody, I think it's about time we wrap up this episode. It's been going on for far too long, and I'm sure you've been waiting for the next one to come out here. So let's wrap it up. We'll get to our comment of the day for this one. It says, "Hey, Etho, are you getting tired of the modded series? I love how many videos you've been making lately, but there's not as much modded Minecraft. Are you enjoying the Let's Play more? Would love to hear your thoughts. Have a good day." Yeah, so I thought I should address this. I am currently planning on putting the modded series on hiatus. We've got a lot of stuff going on right now. One of the main reasons we did the mod pack was to play with the Create mod, and then we started the series, the Create mod updated, and they did not have backwards compatibility. So all the new features coming out in Create we can't get in our series, which kind of stinks. So that was one of the first issues. We have to update the mod pack, basically. The other issues, we had bad pacing because a lot of like real life stuff came up for me shortly after we started that, and I'm still dealing with a lot of stuff today even regarding that. So a lot of interest was lost in the series and it kind of dwindled down a bit. There's a memory issue with the mod pack we made where like every 30 minutes to an hour of playtime I have to restart it, and that takes 5 minutes, and that definitely adds up over time. It's kind of frustrating. But there's also, I don't know, there's an issue with modded Minecraft in general. I feel like it's great for building nowadays. Like there's so many Vanilla Plus mods that add like very nice looking building blocks and stuff. But I find it's just kind of lacking with like game systems and end game stuff. You take a mod like Thaumcraft in the past, for example, that adds so much to the game. Like it adds like the research mini game. It adds you know, there's the jars and piping system, the enchanting system. You got the node system where you want to find nodes and build them up, and then there's wacky ones that have gravity and corruption, and you know, there's like dungeons to explore and fun wacky items like the grappling hook where you might want to build grappling hook courses to play around in. You know, just there's so much to it. And then you get mods now that add a block that does this. And that's all it does. So I'm kind of hoping more exciting mods will come out and maybe build a pack in 1.20 or beyond. I don't know. Like one mod came out recently that I'm pretty excited for, Alex's Caves. Looks pretty cool. But yeah, basically I'm thinking let's just put it on hold for a few months, and then later maybe we'll reassess whether we want to start something up if anything catches my attention. We will see. But yeah, thank you for your question, and thank you all for watching this episode. Hope you enjoyed it. Got anything to say? Let me know in the comments. But until the next one, take care. Have a wonderful day. Bye-bye.